This whole time, Tamar has been telling on herself. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Braxtons season 2, episode 8, and the name of the episode is called Malibu Mayhem. And my God, this is the last episode. I am really surprised that they gave us 2 episodes on one day, and it wasn't just a 2-hour season finale like it was that they actually broke it up. Because I feel like that was another slight to Towanda that she couldn't even have her own week for her wedding. Ain't that fucked up? Like, she didn't get to have her own week for her wedding where the people can be like, oh, Towanda wedding was this week. They go ahead and did her wedding and then did the season finale. But the episode started off, we're still at Tawanda's wedding. At the end of the last episode, Towanda pulled Toni to the side and asked her, where is Trina? Tell me the truth. And Toni tells Towanda what Trina is. She said she had to take Vaughn to the hospital. Towanda is very understanding that Trina had to take care of her husband. And Toni ended up telling Towanda, see, and I stayed the whole time.
What the fuck is going on here?
What is wrong with Toni that she can't stay at this wedding? And I want y'all to really, I'm being serious. Is it something related to lupus that Toni can't sit down for a long time? Because she has been to the Grammys and stuff before. Or is it just like a diva thing that she got where she don't feel like that she can stay? You get what I'm saying? Is it something medical that she can't stay around for a long time? We've seen Toni perform on stage and stuff all night. Like, what is going on where Toni can't be at her sister's wedding all night? I'm really worried about that. Really is bothering me. That really is bothering me. I don't think that is cute. I don't. I think it's nasty. Trina is with Vaughn, and Vaughn has a follow-up. Dr. Brown said that on the day of the wedding, Vaughn had a critical potassium level of 7, and she called him at 7 o'clock in the morning and told him to get to the hospital immediately.
Get up. Get your ass. Get your ass up.
Vaughn didn't take her seriously until he spoke to another doctor, which happened to be a man.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
At Tawanda's wedding, and he told him that he needed to get to the hospital. Dr. Brown said that it was very critical and it was never a suggestion. And so Vaughn was saying, you have to take into the account. And she said, no, I don't. It's called dead. It's called dead. Vaughn said that he felt like Trina wouldn't have went to the wedding if he had went to the hospital, and he didn't want to ruin it. And Dr. Brown said if you would have fell out and had a heart attack or a stroke, you still would have ruined the wedding. And then Trina let it be known that he had some catfish. He ordered some catfish at the wedding before they left.
What?
Then we found out on top of having heart disease, he now has early kidney failure. Trina said that if he doesn't change his habits or listen to the doctor's orders and there's no improvement in 90 days, he's going to have heart surgery. For me, y'all, I can't deal with it.
Done with.
I can help you as long as you're willing to help yourself. But if you're not willing to help yourself, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I won't be able to do it. Then we get to Malibu for the sisters retreat. It looks beautiful. The house that they rented is very, very nice. I love it. And all of the sisters are there, except for Towanda. Of course, she's on her honeymoon, but the sisters are there to try to get past their drama. The first night they have dinner, Tamar is asking about the wedding and what's going on with Towanda. And they say that Towanda hasn't been responded in a timely fashion. I feel like that she's probably enjoying her honeymoon and she has her phone turned off. And she probably turns her phone on every now and then if she's probably getting messages from Brooke or Braxton, and then probably replying to the sisters. For the most part, she's trying to enjoy her honeymoon, so I don't blame her, okay? Tamar said that she felt like somebody was missing, so she went and bought out a blow-up doll to take place for Towanda, and Trina and Toni thought that it was funny. Now, Toni was eating a biscuit with a knife and a fork because she said that she didn't want to get her nails dirty, and Tamar said, girl, you was married to Birdman, you doing a lot, basically, girl, you trying to act all pretty and dainty, girl, with this biscuit, but you married to Birdman, you doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? That nigga hood, that nigga ghetto. On one hand, Tamar knows that Toni doesn't want that on camera. And that's the thing with Tamar. Tamar tries to call her sister out on camera whenever the camera starts rolling. And so Tamar is claiming that it was out there in the open and she didn't spill the story. But that still doesn't mean that we're going to talk about it here on this camera. Truth be told, Tamar never talked about Vince over there going upside her head and chasing Mama Evelyn down.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
She never talked about Vince chasing Mama Evelyn around that house. She never talked about it. So Tamar should understand that some people don't want everything on camera. Now, on the other hand, Tamar and Toni are receiving $900,000 apiece for this season. And Towanda and Trina are receiving $250,000. And I get that Toni Braxton is Toni Braxton. But if Trina is expected to get on this show and discuss what happened with a dead nigga and her niece, then Toni can get on here and talk about being married to Birdman.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
She can get on the show and talk about being married to Birdman. And Trina, for her to get $250,000, she actually carried this season because she was Tamar's whole storyline, if we're going to really talk about it. Toni said that Tamar doesn't even know if it's true. So I take that maybe none of the sisters was invited to the wedding. Maybe it was Toni. Give me that type though. Toni give me that it was probably her, Birdman, and her 2 kids, and whatever little that a kid said that Birdman got. If he an active father, I don't think that he an active father. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put that stereotype on them. Tamar asked Toni, "Was it true?" And Toni said that I don't feel comfortable talking about my personal life. Then what are we even doing? We can't even talk about that. That's the crazy thing. We can't even talk about Toni being married to Birdman, or she can't even just say I'm married to Birdman. That's crazy. Trina said that she's stressed out. She is on high blood pressure medication, and she don't really want to talk about this on camera either. But I'm glad that she let us know that she has high blood pressure because I can tell that something is wrong with Trina. I can tell that something was wrong with Trina. And if I didn't know it, I knew it in the next scene when she was at the sound bath. Okay. So they are having a sound bath, and the goal is to tap into their individual selves because they promised Tracy that they will continue on and be close. And so far they failed Tracy and failed themselves. But my whole thing is, y'all promised Tracy that y'all will continue on and be close. Girl, y'all ain't got no, well, y'all have a choice in not being close, but to continue on, y'all don't got no, maybe y'all sisters. Y'all gonna be sisters to the day that y'all die. That's something that they will never be able to take away from y'all. Y'all gonna always be black, and y'all always gonna be sisters. Okay? Now, will y'all always be female? I don't know. Will y'all always be women? I don't know. That can change nowadays, but you will always be black, and you will always be sisters. Trina is uncomfortable. Trina said that she's skeptical because her fate doesn't give a lot of room for ambiguity. So they started the sound bath. Toni and Tamar laid down. Trina was still sitting up. After 15 minutes, they were still laying down. Then after 30 minutes, Trina laid down. I probably would have fell asleep. The older that I get, this strange thing happens, right? I could lay down and want to watch TV and I will fall asleep throughout the day. But when it's time for me to go to bed and me actually get in the bed and try to go to sleep, I'll be up.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Trina was unable to get into the sound bath. She said that she didn't know what they was doing when they was making the bongs and dongs and all of the, she didn't know what the woman was over there praying or whatever. And I do understand that, but Trina doing a lot. Okay. They ended up having their last dinner. Okay. And Tamar says that before Ashley came on the podcast, that she and Trina used to see each other every Sunday, that Trina would drive over an hour to see her each Sunday. And Tamar asked what happened. And Trina said that when Tamar received her cease and desist, that she got mad at all of the sisters and said that she didn't want anything to do with them. And she wanted them to keep her name out of their mouths. And Trina said that Tamar's anger is misplaced. Now, Tamar is still standing on that she got a cease and desist from her family because she feels, and she feels that way because Ontavious represents the sisters personally, and he's also their family attorney. And she feels like the sisters not owning up to it is a cop-out. Tamar says that the cease and desist shut down her business, and that's how she will feed her child. And at first, I thought that Tamar was being extra and she was being dramatic, but she's actually telling us the truth. And she's been standing in plain sight, so I have no choice but to believe her. Tamar's business was to exploit Ashley. The cease and desist had nothing to do with shutting down her podcast as a whole. She can still do her podcast. Tamar wanted to talk about Ashley's stories and what happened with Ashley for her personal gain. And she's upset that she was not allowed to do so. Her intent was to exploit Ashley. She can still do her podcast. She can still sing. So nobody shut down her business. She was just unable to talk about Ashley and Michael. Trina said that if she was the one who sent the cease and desist, she would stand behind it. And I do believe that because Trina has gotten dragged online ever since Ashley came out with this story. And she keeps saying that we don't know the full story. And some people aren't here to tell their story. And she is out here looking crazy than a motherfucker. And she's still standing on it. She's still standing on it, even though that people look at her as crazy as hell. She is still standing on it. And hell, Vaughn is even standing on it. So I do believe that if Trina had sent that cease and desist or had anything to do with it, she would let it be known and she would stand on it. Tamar wanted Toni to call Untavius and tell him to leave Tamar alone because they are really, really close friends. But Tamar, that's not feasible. Because Untavius was hired to do a job. So why, in what world, could Tamar call him and stop him from doing the job that he was paid to do? That's not feasible. It doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. Okay. Trina admitted that she gave Michael Untavius information. She said that Michael asked for the name of her attorney, but she said that she did not give Untavius Tamar's address. Michael probably doesn't have an attorney. He's not in the business, so he doesn't have an attorney that's on call. So once the story got out, he probably asked Trina for her attorney since he already represents the family. Right? Since Untavius already represents several of the sisters, he probably just called Trina and asked her for the attorney, asked her for Untavius' number, and she gave it to him. I can also see Michael reaching out to Trina because the story also involves her.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Right? So it's no coincidence that out of all of the sisters that he went and reached out to Trina. So I can see why Tamar feels the way that she feels. However, she received the cease and desist from Michael. She knows it, which is why his name isn't mentioned on the show, and neither is Untavius. Every time they talk about Michael and Untavius, they bleep it out. Tamar apologizes to Toni, but she does not apologize to Trina. She did not apologize to Trina.
In some ways.
Then they discuss getting physical with each other. Tamar says that Trina put her hands on her. Trina says that she didn't. Tamar wants to bring out proof and she went and got a laptop. It's clear that Tamar already saw the footage and has reverse engineered her story, right? Which is why when Trina asked her, has she seen the footage, she did not answer her question because she knew that she'd seen the footage and she didn't want to sit up there and lie. Trina ended up asking OG, has Tamar seen the footage? He said that Tamar never seen the footage. He didn't say that Tamar never seen the footage. He said something else. It was like a broad answer, but he didn't say directly Tamar didn't receive the footage. But either way, his mouth ain't no prayer book because he lied and said that Towanda said that Tamar, she didn't want Tamar at the bridal trip, and she never said that.
Lying ass bitch.
The truth of the matter is, and I've been saying this since the episode aired, I'm fair. And I can just tell you what I see and how I feel. Okay? The truth of the matter is Trina did put her hands on Tamar. She was trying to break it up, but she did put her hands on Tamar. However, that is not why Tamar got physical. She reverse engineered her answer. Tamar got physical because Trina knew which card to pull with Tamar. And it was you're Toni Braxton. You're a superstar. You can't be doing this. That got under Tamar's skin. And if you've been watching the Braxtons since day one, it is very reminiscent of the 20 years comment that Tamar snapped about. When they was getting ready to work on their album together, the Christmas album, Tamar wanted to go independent. Toni wanted to go through a label. And Trina was basically saying, girl, Toni been in the game, at the top of the game for 20 years. And she kept on saying, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years. Toni, Tamar, you don't even got a Grammy. So who the hell are you to tell Toni? And Tamar snapped, right? Because the truth of the matter is, and if you've been watching the show, Tamar is jealous that she has the better voice of the family, but she does not have the accolades that Toni has.
You are what you want to be. I'm what you want to be.
So then Tamar asks Trina, why do you dislike me so much on camera? I can answer that question. Because Tamar is always looking for a one-up or to annihilate all of her sisters anytime the cameras are on. And that's what I keep saying. This was not about Ashley. This was about trying to make Trina look bad. And y'all can't tell me, because I've been watching this show since day one. Ashley was used as a pawn. Toni even said it. Tamar wants any type of attention she can get. She doesn't know. She doesn't care if it's negative or positive. She just wants the attention. Tamar wants any type of victory she can have, and she knew that most people would have her side on whatever went on, that she was looking like she was defending Ashley, regardless if she was exploiting her or not.
Like what?
That's the reason why.
Because now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? She knew that people was gonna take her side regardless, just because of Ashley's story, and y'all did. So they played the clip, and we watched the clip again. And did y'all notice? I think that Toni got up because Tamar mentioned Birdman's name on camera, but they ended up bleeping it out. Because she actually said, "You think I fucked Birdman too?" But see, earlier in this episode, when she said Birdman, girl, you married the Birdman, they didn't bleep it out. See, you got to watch that Tamar. I'm telling you, baby, you put your phones down when you're watching the show. That Tamar is a nasty girl, and I see through her. And she tried to act like she on this spiritual journey, and she want to heal.
You can kiss it. And anybody else that go along with you on your fake, phony ass spiritual journey can kiss it too.
Trina sees the footage, and she's saying that she didn't hit Tamar, and so it changed from "I didn't touch you" to "I hit you." She was separating her. She was separating them. Now Trina says the back of her hand grazed her.
Girl.
Baby, the back of their hand didn't graze her. Now, if we're going to tell the truth, we're going to tell the truth now. That push looked like it had a little sting on it. No, I wouldn't say sting. That push looked like it had a little ump to it. You get what I'm saying? That push had a little ump to it. Tamar says that she felt like Trina put her hands on her, and if that wasn't her intent, she accepts that. But in the moment, she felt that she was attacked, and she couldn't even get a word in. And she said it was not a conversation. It was an attack.
That is some bullshit.
Tamar was the one attacking everyone. Tamar was the one that was accusing the sisters of sending her a cease and desist. Tamar was the one that was center stage, having a moment, performing and clowning her sisters on camera. Tamar was the one that was attacking. Trina sat there. She didn't really say a word. Toni was sitting there. She was really not saying a word. Tamar was the one that was accusing everybody. She was the one that was attacking everybody. She was the one. It was Tamar accusing the other sisters of you get what I'm saying? It wasn't them teaming up against Tamar. It was Tamar coming for them because she felt like that she was wrong. I also feel like that Tamar put her hands on Trina because she knows that that was the one who she can try and get away with it with. If she did that to Toni, production would have been shut down. I believe that Towanda would either call the laws and press charges like she wanted to, like she tried to get Toni to do, or she would have went upside Tamar's head with the cast that was on her arm when she started mentioning her kids. And she knows that Trina is the sister that is forgiving, which is why I believe Trina when she said that if Ashley needed anything else from her or needed something else from her, she could have called her and told her. I believe that. And actually, if you listen to Ashley's story, Ashley never said that Trina said anything negative to her. She said that is how she felt. And feelings are not fact. You can feel the way that you feel, but that doesn't mean that somebody was doing anything to you. We've actually seen Ashley on the show with Trina. So I don't buy everything that Ashley says just because y'all think that she's a victim or because she was under 18. I don't buy everything that she says. I still believe that Gabe was dead ass wrong. But what I'm saying is that doesn't mean, because she was talking about the family. She said Trina and the family. And we've seen her around after that. Ashley was a troubled child.
You never know with her.
And I feel like that Tamar just wants to be a victim so bad. So Tamar and Trina are going back and forth. And Trina says, I didn't retaliate when you pulled my hand and kicked me because you was my sister. And Tamar said, well, you should have.
Bring it, bitch.
But I don't think that you should have got between two sisters. And Trina said, well, you shouldn't have been this close to her face. And then Toni says, we was in each other's face. And Trina says, well, you shouldn't have been in her face either. And Tamar says that Trina isn't on her side. It doesn't take away from the fact that Tamar got up as well. She corrected both of them. But in the moment she was speaking to Tamar, and she spoke about Tamar first because that's the person that she was in the argument with. And I also think that, and I'm seeing it now, Tamar feels like that she's less than or being held to a higher level of scrutiny than Toni because she is not Toni Braxton. These sisters have some type of trauma with them because the girls, I believe that Tamar feels like she's better than Tracy, Towanda. Well, that she was better than Tracy and is better than Towanda and Trina. Right? But she feels insecure when it comes to Toni Braxton. I believe that Towanda feels insecure because she's not a solo singer. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because all of these sisters feel a certain type of way and they have their story. And then you have Toni on the other hand, who is this superstar who feels like she has to apologize for being a success or being this solo singer or being this multi-platinum or being a legend or the icon that she is, right? She almost feels like her sisters resent her for it and I have to apologize and I'm done apologizing for my life and the blessings that I got and I'm the one that got signed to them. You get what I'm saying? And so all of these sisters have their type of, all of these sisters have their own type of trauma within a relationship. I didn't really see too much of it from Trina. She genuinely seemed like she was happy for everybody. Even when all of the sisters were upset with Tracy, when she continued to film Braxton Family Values, Trina was not upset with Tracy. She said that she was actually happy for Tracy to have her moment. And that tells a lot about Trina's character to me.
I like your ass. I like you. I don't give a fuck.
Tamar and Trina both take back, putting their hands on each other, and they're moving forward and pushing through and giving each other's grace. And I'm happy to see it. And it may seem toxic, but that's their family and their dynamic. And it's not for us to judge. You know, there have been some things that in my family that I have just chose to forget or forgive because it was family. Right? And so I'm not judging them. I'm not going to judge. Just for them to work out. And that's their sisterhood. And so it is what it is. But I am truly happy that they patched everything up. I am truly happy that they patched everything up. And y'all, that was the season. I'm happy that I got through the season because, baby, last season was a lot. And, baby, I couldn't even get through the whole season. The season was okay. The season was okay. And I just wish that Towanda was here for the Sisters Retreat because I would have been interested in seeing how Tamar and Towanda will be able to move forward. But maybe that is something that we can see next season. All right? But y'all, let me know, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Tamar was attacked, or do you think that Tamar was attacking the sisters? Because I think that Tamar was attacking the sisters. She was the one that was accusing them. She was being accusatory towards her sisters. And do y'all think that the anger is misplaced? I do believe, I don't think that it was a coincidence that Michael reached out to Trina. But I do believe that if Trina had something to do with that cease and desist, she would have admitted it because she has been dragged online, baby, week after week. I'm over here thinking, bitch, girl, just shut up.
Girl, please stop talking. Please stop talking right now.
Because they keep dragging you online, but, you know, maybe she's seen some stuff that we don't want to see. And she has not really blasted Ashley. She has not really said a negative thing about Ashley. She just said that people are able to feel the way that they want to feel. It doesn't mean that they're the truth. She didn't say that bitch lying. She did some that. She, you know what I'm saying? She hasn't really disparaged her. She just taken a stance that we don't think that she should take. That, you know, that y'all don't think that she should take. But I still believe in my heart that no matter what was going on, if Ashley had text Gabe anything inappropriate, it shouldn't have been a response at all. And to me, that was enough for a divorce, in my opinion. But y'all, that's all I got. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I'll see y'all later. Adios.